time in here carving that three face we started the other day. I worked on it a little bit. Um and chat. Last time I got some feedback that my conversation about marriages in my last live was important and helped out some people. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about conversations, but I'll show you what's on the bench. Same thing as always. This guy, this guy, that one I haven't started. This one, but I did start something for one of my grandsons, and it's upside down, I guess. Gonna do a little relief carving for one of my grandsons. So it's exciting stuff. So I'm gonna start carving here. I'll show you where I'm at. So we started this guy and we were getting into the hair, and I've been working on him, and I'm actually going to post a video of when I did these eyes, and it was a screw up on this eye, but sometimes screw ups work out. And so it made the eye look like it was looking left, and that's what I wanted. So I went with that. Then I started working on this guy, put a hat on him, and it's got a little bill. We're gonna do his beard, and I'm gonna do his eyes today. So I'll teach you some eyes, and then we're gonna work on him later. That's my three faces, one project. So good. I'm gonna put this thing up there, and then we are gonna go from there. And I'll look on my computer here, see if we can get some action going here. Here we go. Oops. Get this tightened down here. All right. This is gonna have to come down some. Boom. And then on my bench, I got my littler palm tools on my left side and there. And then on my bench on my right side, I have my longer tools. So that'll be there. Oops, got a stray. That way, at least I know where something is. Otherwise, I spend my whole time looking around for tools. I'm sure every carver has that problem. Um, Tighten this. Gotta put this in a place where I can still see what I'm doing. Good. Good, good, good. Hope you're doing well today. I am looking forward to this weekend. Like you guys know, I am a pastor. I pastor a larger church in town here. We've been here 30 years ago tomorrow. Will be our 30-year anniversary. And so yeah, turning on my other computer here so I can see some of your comments. So kind of got those done a little bit better. So I can see some of your I'm gonna so all right. Hope you're well. So we're gonna start this, and this doesn't look quite right. I thought I put a little hat in there, and I know it's not symmetrical, but it's a mountain man, so he's got his hat kind of off to the side, and just gonna take that off a little bit. So, so yeah, today we got a service tonight for Easter, and then three of them tomorrow. So I hope you make time to go to Easter service, and if that's not your thing, um, my life is dedicated to helping people know the Lord. I didn't grow up real religious, so didn't grow up religious at all. Didn't know the Lord till I was 16, but thankful for that. I don't like his hat, but I'm gonna mess with that later. Thin that bill out. So more forehead right here. But anyhow, you think see I get the setup for the beard, and I'm not really defining the mustache. I'm gonna kind of let this uh branch out. Like I showed you last time, I kind of make some parts. What I've been doing. I sand the edges of those some, and then I'll cut in some with a littler V tool. Kind of get some different depths. So last time I carved, I did talk extensively about marriage, and if you want to look at the last live and have a heart for marriage, my wife and I are starting a little marriage class this next Wednesday. Marriages are really in trouble. Marriage is tough, and I know you see a lot of carving videos. There's so many. So just the fact that you guys would jump on this one, it's an honor. Thank you. I don't think I'm definitely not in the top of the best carvers, but man, I love it. And sure enjoy the carving community. But I thought carving, I can talk about carving so long, but I'm 60, worked with people my whole life. I've had a lot of different experiences, some of them awesome, some of them not. And I thought, what if I share just some of my little tidbits of wisdom? And if you got a nugget out of it that helped your life, that'd be cool. And if you don't get anything out of it, that's cool too. Um, that's fine. This big. There we go. Oh, so let me just chat about these eyes a little bit. Remember, the deepest part of your face is these two areas in here and out here. That's the deepest part of a face. And they got to be a little set up. And so these eyes are going to be the way that I learned eyes. I learned from a guy named Marty Lawhorn, who learned from the great Billy Reynolds down in Gatlinburg. Got a pencil here. You got to draw them in first. That's just no two ways about it. Of course. Of course, of course. Okay. So I draw them both in at the same time. Maybe muscle memory helps because they got to look pretty similar. It's going to match this brow line a little bit. One's up a little high. I'm going to trim those back just a little bit because eyes don't slant. They don't slant out, they slant in. An eye does. So, a little wisdom today. If there's one area of everyone's life that is a challenge, and that's the area of relationships, not just talking marriage, friendships, relationships with parents, relationships with your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors. A lot of people struggle with relationships. Thanks, Michael Taggart. Appreciate that. You're very kind. And people struggle with relationships because most people don't have the emotional maturity to have a difficult relationship or to have a relationship that could be touchy. And we teach something at our church called emotionally healthy relationships, which gives you communication skills that help you have, some tough conversations with people or just civil, mature conversations with people. I grew up and man, it was fight or flight when I grew up. When people got in a conversation they didn't want to have, they either overpowered you with volume or just left. Just slam the door and leave. And those are terrible ways to have relationships. Or they just cut you off. There's so many cutoffs nowadays. Family members won't talk to family members. And I know there are some situations that should be. I get that. But sometimes I think that I'm not safe is used a little too liberally. And so I don't know if I like that, but a good conversation is important. I've had some conversations in my life that have been life changing. I was thinking of one of the best ones I had almost 40 years ago, over 40 years ago, out at a metro park in Toledo, Ohio. I took my 18-year-old girlfriend and took a walk. And on a bridge out there, I asked her if she would marry me. And we had a nice conversation. I was a junior in Bible college, and she hadn't gone her freshman year yet. Yes, she was a little younger. Or no, she was just graduating. That was her senior year. So we had a conversation like, how would we pay for it? How would we do college? How would it look? How would our family react? It's a great conversation. Good conversations are life changing. It changed my life. Wendy and I will celebrate 40 years married in January. We just celebrated 39. So it's pretty cool. I've had some tragedies in my life. First tragedy that I experienced, other than my folks' divorce, was my best friend took his life in a moment of real sadness. And now I'm gonna put a pause in that story. I drew in the top lid, and I'm gonna just etch it out a little with um this little V tool because it just helps this cottonwood bark not crack when you run a knife through it. And then I can make alterations if it's not quite right. I haven't cut it in permanent yet. If they don't match, they got to match. Okay, the eyes are symmetrical. So, so now my best friend took his life in a moment of he had a very difficult life in a moment of just discouragement and an array of family issues and things he endured. But anyhow, I won't get into all that. And man, I was just blown away. And that night, I didn't know what to do. But the next night, my brother and I we were over at my grandparents, and there was a knock on the front door, and it was this young man's stepdad. And at this time in my life, I was kind of deciding what I want to do with my life, you know, because you got to decide that when you're like 16 now. Like, what are you going to do with your life? Got to take an entrance test. Well, this is the things you're interested in, and so you should pick a career path that goes with that. Well, there's some things I wasn't interested in at 17 or 16 that I am now. And then there's other things I wasn't interested in. I am interested in that I wasn't then, and vice versa. But anyhow, he stopped and said, "Can I talk to you?" And he pulled me out on the front porch and we had a conversation. He was heartbroken, of course, and said, "If you can just help people, help young people not to feel so hopeless they have nothing to live for, Nate." And he knew I was a Christian now and I was following the Lord and trying to keep my life together. He just encouraged me to go to college, be a minister, and I was praying about it. And that conversation really, really influenced me. Gotta bring this down. Notice I'm doing the top of the eye first. I'm being pretty careful because this is chippy with this cottonwood bark. I gotta make myself, it just doesn't go deep enough there. I thought it was, but it's flattening out. This is where I go a little deeper. I can. I should have done that. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. His faces are symmetrical. Using two hands for control. I want to slip up and take off that eyelid, you know. Already losing it, going deeper than the cut. I'll retrace that cut a little bit. Like this little Helvey for this. I got this off of Don Mertz at a show in Archibald, Ohio. Thanks, Don. Signature series of the Helvey, the Wood Bee Carver. Well, Don is a great guy, isn't he? I've never got to carve with him, but just interacting with him, hanging out with him in that show a little bit. What a fantastic man. I haven't met too many people in the carving world I don't like. Everybody's pretty friendly. So, got a lot of cheeks here to work with. So, I'm gonna bring those down. And this is a little doll. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna show you how you're gonna do the pupil for these eyes. Good conversation brings clarity. It can bring comfort. Good conversation can bring closeness. If you say, well, I don't talk, or my wife and I don't talk, you're going to have trouble with intimacy. And I'm not just talking, marital intimacy. I'm talking about just feeling close to each other. Friends, talk, you feel closer. Talk things out. Gives you clarity because clarity is kindness. Just helps bring understanding or expectations. See, notice the eye is not circular. The eye socket is. Okay, right here. That's why I need to take out more of that. But the eye socket's circular, but eyes are not circular. We're not fish. So the bottom lid doesn't go all down that much. And this guy's a outdoorsman, man. He's a worn old mountain man. His eyes are squinting through a lot of stuff. Again, taking the little V tool and just giving me a beginning. Just a beginning cut. I went too deep. That's what happens. So, usually you do like a pyramid cut in this corners, and get the circular eyeball that goes back naturally there. Then over here, I'm going to do it very carefully. See how you get that? Drops in there farther there on the edges. Try not to flick because you can flick that lid off. And I just need to clear a little out of there. Could just knife this, I guess. I have a staff and we run a church of about 1,000 people, and I don't talk if we don't communicate. Oh man, there's all sorts of confusion and speculations, and expectations get weird, and who's to do what, and I didn't know. We get upset at people and we never communicated expectations to them, times or things like that. Things are pretty important. I like this skew right here. This is a good one. Yeah. I haven't had too many tools I can't stand. I mean, the non-brand ones on Amazon, of course, they're junk. But I use a lot of different tools from different places. Not loyal to just one company because some great tools are made. File makes them, Shaft makes them, Flex Cut makes them. Drake makes them. On I go. Stryry makes them. Stu by some great tools. All right, we got to cut in this guy. All right, they're gonna go as deep. I can always take two passes, right? You don't got to get it all in the first one. And a pyramid cut in the corners. Push that in. Push that in. Set the blade. Not my favorite eyes right now. I'm not liking these, but I'll mess with them a little bit. And then the pupil is what I do is after I get these where I want them. Let's go with this one. Gotta make it that bag. See, those don't look that so great in there. But I'll take my little Microtech. It's got this real little, and then I'll make just a U on the top of those eyes. As soon as I get them done like that, maybe I can show you. Hanker to get at this beard too. And because this guy's looking to the right and the guy at the bottom is going to be looking to the left, I thought it'd be okay if I let this guy look straight ahead, which I don't often do because you don't want your carvings to look like catonic. There's somebody just staring in the distance. But I am gonna put on magnifiers here and see what I got. I'm gonna move this just a little bit for me. We can still see. I'll drop it down. A little C or a little U. Match it over here. There's some work to do. This bark is so soft when you use any kind of power, even this little thing. You got to be so careful. There you go. It's back over. Some eyes, and they're going to need a little more work. But give you an idea of how I do them. Hope that was informational and you enjoyed that. So, yeah, with this mustache, I got those parts in, and I'm gonna move toward my smaller V tool, like I did up here. I did the parts, and I did a smaller V tool in there for that and the hair and everything. Yep. See, um, just get a couple more swipes in here. This one's gonna kind of go down. It's not gonna flow like that one. It's kind of right there. Sure wish I was better at beards. I love carvings where the hair just looks really real. Really, really gives it the wow effect. You know, you look at it and you're like, wow. So here at the edge kind of breaks up. So we're gonna break that up. So mess with that later. So this is just the little one, and just gonna do a series of S's. Or I don't think this is super sharp either. I can't see that. Here you're not going everywhere. I just start out moving around. I move around first. Just a chunk came off of that, unfortunately. And move around, and then I keep looking at it. And I always come back the next day. I never finish a beard in one session. You should come back the next day and see some obvious spots you could add. You know, every month 20 million people have conversations about meaningful things with chat box or AI companions. 20 million people every month have nobody in their life they can talk to. They're talking to their computer. Artificial intelligence. Some may say that's terrible. It's terrible, but the reason it's terrible because it's so sad. Kids are in their rooms talking because their parents aren't available, or maybe their parents. I mean, my dad didn't know how to talk to me. His family of origin was very different. Some parents have to work so much. I mean, man, things are expensive. Some kids have parents that will talk and have chosen not to. There's no one size fits all. It's all very, very complex. But it's sad to think you could have a meaningful conversation about your life with a chat bot and not a real person. I'm gonna deepen this just a little bit. And a lot of people wish they could have a conversation with somebody, but they're alone. And loneliness is a big deal. A lot of people live in loneliness. Wish they had somebody they could share their life with. 50% of all adults are just lonely. Not lonely. I mean, 50% of all adults are single or single again, either divorced or widowed or widowers or, yeah, sad. Well, we probably need to go in and start getting ready for our Easter service tonight. It's at compelled.church online. If you're not planning on going out, you can always go there. Compelled.church. I'm going to talk about these conversations because Jesus had a good one with a couple disciples on the road to Emmaus. Good stuff. See how I do it? I'm just moving around, not trying to do one section and complete it because I want it to now come out tomorrow and do more because I'll see there will be things I've missed or areas that are kind of flat and need a little texture of hair, you know. Yeah, a little different. The a worn beard, huh? Little crow's feet up here. This guy. Oh, I'll mess with those eyes more. I'm gonna take a little meat off of this bill so I can get some lines in there. Nose isn't done. Hey, been good carving with you on this Saturday afternoon. Happy Easter. Many blessings. Call it. Have a great rest of your day.